I think that we are officially live, my friend. So today we have a special guest. I always feel so cheesy saying that, but I'm putting somebody in front of you who is very near and dear to my heart and who is a very amazing chiropractor, super strong businesswoman, and who we've had the pleasure of working with on my team, Staffless Practice Academy, for the past few months, coaching her. So, Dr. Katrina, just introduce yourself. Tell us where you are, what you do. Give us the scoop.
Oh my gosh. Like Dr. Jody said, my name is Katrina Weiland, and I am a chiropractor in Harrisonburg, Virginia. I am a LifeU grad, and I associated most of my career after I graduated. Learned a lot of great things, loved it. I also got to the point where I was getting burnt out, to be quite frank. Um, Lost my passion for chiropractic, if I can be completely honest. Nothing wrong with high volume practices, but I was in a practice that 5 days a week, I was seeing 100 people a day, 50 new patients a month, 5 minutes with a patient, put it on repeat every single day. And I did. I fell out of love with chiropractic. And a really great opportunity came my way to open my own practice. So I've been open for just a little over 6 months now. Like I said, Harrisonburg, Virginia. So if you're ever that way, let me know. Shenandoah Valley, it's gorgeous. But with that, it was my last ditch effort to try to fall in love with chiropractic again. And I joined a practice management group. I'll be quite honest with you, I wasn't pleased simply because they were having me put a lot of the same things that I was doing on repeat. High volume, high volume, high volume, take insurance, don't get paid what you're worth. I call it the holy bucket. You just got to keep pumping new patients in, but you're not necessarily getting them to stay.
Let me ask
And
you this. At what
yeah,
point do you say to yourself, this doesn't work for me? I'm doing these things that don't feel congruent with what I want for my practice. Because I know that my go-to in that moment would be there's something wrong with me. I'm not getting it. I'm not doing it right. And I did that for so many years with coaching programs. So how do you have the personal, because you found me in the
did.
middle of all of that. You were like, I'm in this program and I'm not happy with it and I need help. I need real deal implementable tools
Yeah.
to get my practice to work. So is it like an inner voice thing? How do you know?
I honestly, I was miserable. And I knew for me that wasn't sustainable. I was in the office at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was leaving 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday. I was in here on the weekends doing what I could. My personal life, what personal life? I'm not eating well, I'm not exercising, I'm not taking care of myself, I'm stressed to the max. It just wasn't sustainable. So for me, I was like there was just this little, I guess, little voice that something has to change. You
Right.
cannot keep this up. And so I did. I found Dr. Jody in Staffless Practice because I am a party of one. I don't have staff. And I think that was part of the problem is the systems I was implementing for systems that have doctors who have staff. And so it just wasn't working. And that's why I was running around like a chicken with my head chopped off at all times. Dr. Jody's really
You
helped me focus.
say, what what would you say, what's the biggest thing that you got at? And if you guys are watching on Facebook, we have a few different programs that we offer when we have a new coaching program, a coaching client. One is a 12-week do-it-yourself program. We give you all of the tools you need, go do it, right? We have an accountability coach keeping an eye on you, making sure that you're not getting lost along the way. The other is a 6-month intensive with me watching you. I'm in your back pocket, you're in my back pocket. We are shaking hands on agreements about what you're going to do for your practice over the next 6 months. And then we have a year-long program. So when you came into our world, we first fit you for the right program. What would you say is the biggest? I mean, I love the little celebration text that we get from you, like, I can't believe how awesome this is. But what would you say is the biggest gift that you've gotten from working with us?
It's been the self-discovery process. I don't want to take away from any of the systems that you treat or that you, excuse me, the systems that you teach, because those have really helped me. But if you had just given me the systems
Right.
without teaching me, let me rephrase that, helping me figure out who I want to see, what's my perfect practice member look like? That, I think the systems would have been amazing, but they wouldn't have gone as far and I wouldn't be as successful as I am. Because I was honestly just any and everybody that walked in the door. Yes, I was trying to be a jack of all trades to every single person that walks in the door. And I don't want to say that there's anything wrong with that, but for me, that was not filling my bucket.
Right.
And so Dr. Jody really sat me down, and I mean, there were tears. There were tears involved. There was lots of moments where I needed to be picked back up sometimes, not because she was doing anything wrong, but she really made she was peeling back the layers and like, who do you want to treat? Why do you want to treat them? Why does talking to that person get you excited?
Right.
And then we went from there to now, where in the community are you going to find that person? How are you going to market to that person? How are you going to get that person in your office? And then what systems would be attractive to a person like that? And then you've helped me implement those systems accordingly.
And what do I say? If you're in your first meeting with me and you're not crying, I've done something wrong. It's just like when I have a new patient, they come in and I mean, you guys, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on coaches, on being coached, right? To learn. I kept trying to figure out what I was doing wrong in the practice world, trying to manage people and get it right and be in this box that I just didn't fit in it. And I thought, it's the coach that I have. It's the program that I'm studying. Thank God, never did I think it's the way that I'm serving, because I've always been very clear on the way that I serve my craft, right? But I really, when I finally found a coach who I felt like is truly listening to me, I was like, and like ugly cry, you guys. So when I have a new patient or a new client in coaching, I make damn sure that I do a lot of listening. So what would you say I just want to back up a second. Day-to-day, your day-to-day world, like you walk in the office, you get a cup of water, you get ready for your clients, you check messages, like all of the things that you do. How has your experience, your real deal implementable tools that I have taught you through Staffless Practice, how has that changed your experience?
I have a life. I have a life again, but it's also one, I think you helped me realize that there's no shame in saying no. I don't need to feel guilty for it. I don't have to be everything to everyone. That's okay. But in doing that, I am here. I like to get places early, so I'm still at work 30 minutes early before I open. But I leave the office, I close at 6 and I'm leaving by 6:15. And that is
Oh my God, I'd love to
that's a
hear
big
that.
deal. But you found a way to communicate with me to where I'm taking all the 5,000 things that need to get done and I don't feel overwhelmed. I did a time study, I've created my calendar, I've got my diamond time. So I've actually found that I have more, dare I say, more time in the day now, and I can actually, versus always feeling like I'm missing something, I'm not doing something. The task, when I'm doing it, I'm focused, it's getting done well, versus being pulled away in 10 different directions all at once. So for me, the systems that really made the biggest difference, aside from discovering who my perfect practice member was, excuse me, the texting platform, having my patients text the office, as well as we set up the email, like the Gmail suite. That has been very, very helpful as well. And then the time study. Wow, the time study was a really big one. I loved you and hated you in that moment.
Just to clarify, what we're talking about is one of the first things we do is we take a look at how you're spending your time in the office when you become a new client of ours. And then we look at who are you serving, and is that truly who you want to be serving? Is that floating your boat? Because at the core of all of it is joy. It's enjoying the process of practice. And then we start implementing tools like real deal practice communication tools for compliant email that's branded and beautiful and proofread and no typos and one-click solutions, and a texting program, the same deal, branded, personalized, one-click solutions. But it feels like all of the communication that we show you how to set up or we set up for you, it feels like you're talking to your best friend when you're sending your practice member a text. It's not like, this is Sally's spa service. It's a warm connection every time, which is super important. So what would you say to somebody who is like, I'm thinking about joining Dr. Jody's thing, I'm just not quite sure. How would you approach that? What would you say?
Do it. I don't know why you haven't done it already. But truly, you won't be disappointed. I think she'll really help you figure out her and her team. Because by the way, I can't say enough about Dr. Jody's team at Staffless Practice.
Yeah.
They're incredible. I love them. But they're going to help you figure out who it is you want to serve. And I think that kind of really comes that's at the root of a lot of problems. They're going to help you figure out who it is you want to serve, and then how to go about growing your practice around who it is you want to serve.
It's so funny that you talk about the team, and basically the irony, I get it. I have a team now of 10 people, and I'm the staffless practice person. Like, I literally wrote the book and run the school. And what I recognized is when I want to serve somebody like you, I have to have a team of people I can trust to give you the best service possible. So part of pulling up my big girl pants and being a businesswoman in the world is looking at what I suck at and either figuring out how to do it really well, like learning a new skill of doing it, or delegating it to people who are already really good at doing those things. So people fall under the assumption that we only work with practices who don't have staff. But to be truthful, we work with, some of our clients have 6, 7 staff members. And the goal is for anybody who shows up on your team, if and when you have a team, that they're only doing what they're great at doing. Because that's where we go wrong. We think we can hire a jack of all trades or a Jane of all trades. And then we have a client like you, and I'm like, I need you to have a really solid system for X, Y, and Z, but that's not my jam. So I have to find somebody whose jam it is. And we've gotten really good at that process. So listen, I adore you. You know how I adore you. I'm so grateful that we've had the time to spend together, not only today, but over the past few months. And I have a gut feeling that our journey together is just beginning.
That's right.
Yeah. Go make the world better with great care. And I'll see you.
You do the same. Yes, ma'am. Bye, guys. Y'all have a good day.